the gates, Naomi's discovery shatters the Hamilton legacy. There are moments in Fairmont Crest when the silence speaks louder than words. And this week on Beyond the Gates, that silence is torn open by a single discovery, a revelation so devastating that it threatens to undo everything the Hamilton family thought they knew. Naomi Hamilton Hawthorne, once consumed by guilt over a heated argument with her father before his surgery, stumbles onto something far darker than regret. It isn't just remorse, she has to face its betrayal. What begins as a search for closure becomes a descent into secrets, manipulation, and the terrifying possibility of inherited doom. The Hamilton family isn't just fractured, it's about to be blown apart. Naomi hasn't been able to forgive herself. Not since the day Bill Hamilton was wheeled into surgery, pale and silent, after collapsing from what they believed was a stress-induced stroke. The last words she said to him weren't kind. They were sharp, raw, laced with years of resentment and disappointment. She had accused him of selfishness, of recklessness, of abandoning the family by marrying Haley and walking away from Donnie without so much as an apology. She had screamed that he wasn't the man she remembered, that he was a stranger. And now, with his condition still critical and recovery uncertain, those words haunt her. But guilt gives way to confusion when Naomi visits the hospital to check in on her father's progress. The nurse on duty, distracted and overwhelmed, accidentally hands Naomi the wrong folderoni marked with her father's name but filled with discrepancies. Blood work out of sequence. Genetic screening results with inconsistencies. Notes signed by Dr. Madison Montgomery, but with language Naomi knows isn't Madison's style. It takes her less than an hour to realize something is off. It takes her less than a day to uncover the truth. Bill Hamilton is dying, and he's known for years. A rare degenerative genetic disorder, untreatable, incurable, and hereditary. It's the kind of diagnosis that rewrites a family's entire future. The kind of secret you don't keep unless you're willing to lie to everyone you love. Naomi's heart pounds as she pieces together what's been done. Bill didn't just hide his condition. He manipulated it. He reached out to Dr. Madison Montgomery in private, convinced her, pressured her to falsify medical records. Not just his own, but Naomi's. Her test results, run quietly years ago during a routine workup, had shown early markers. Madison had flagged them, concerned. Bill had intervened. He convinced Madison to overwrite the records, to protect Naomi from the truth. Now Naomi understands. The overprotectiveness. The sudden push to get her to move out of Fairmont Crest last year. The insistence she focus on her political career and not waste time on hospitals. It wasn't encouragement. It was control. She confronts Madison first. The two women meet in the back corner of the Montrose Clinic, where the shadows are thicker and no one is listening. "You lied to me," Naomi says flatly. Madison doesn't deny it. Her eyes are heavy with guilt. "I was trying to protect you." "Your father said my father said what?" Naomi cuts in. "That I didn't deserve to know I might be dying like him." Madison flinches. "He was scared. And I was scared too. I've never done something like this before, Naomi. But he made me believe it was the right thing. That you'd spiral. That it would destroy you." Naomi's voice is ice. "You don't get to decide what destroys me. You should have told me the truth." She walks out without another word. The next confrontation is with Bill himself. It happens in his hospital room, the heart monitor beeping steadily in the background. Bill looks older than she remembers, fuller, thinner, his voice barely above a whisper. But Naomi doesn't give him the chance to deflect. "You lied to me," she says. "To all of us." His face tightens. He tries to sit up, wincing. "Naomi, I did it to protect you. You altered my medical records. You manipulated Madison. You took away my choice to even prepare for what's coming." Bill's expression hardens. "And what would you have done? Run more tests? Spent your life waiting for the symptoms to start? I couldn't let you live like that." Naomi steps closer. "That wasn't your decision to make. I had a right to know what's in my blood, what I could pass down to my children, what might be killing you." A long silence falls between them. Bill finally speaks. "It's not fair. I didn't want this for you. I've lived with this curse for years, watching my father fade, watching my hands tremble, my body betray me. I saw it coming, and I couldn't stop it. But I thought maybe if I could stop it from touching you, even for a while, it would mean something." Naomi shakes her head. "All it means is that you let me live in a lie." She walks out before he can respond. And just like that, the fragile threads holding the Hamilton family together begin to snap. Naomi tells Chelsea. Chelsea doesn't believe it at first, refuses to. But when Naomi shows her the documents, the altered test results, the sealed file with Madison's electronic signature, she goes silent. Then she begins to cry. Haley finds out next, when Naomi confronts her in the hallway outside Bill's room. The confrontation is public, loud, and impossible to contain. Donnie hears it from down the hall and joins halfway through. The four women, Naomi, Chelsea, Haley, and Dane, end up in the middle of a screaming match that draws hospital security. Accusations fly. Loyalty is questioned. Haley accuses Naomi of exploiting Bill's condition for attention. Donnie blames Haley for driving him to secrets in the first place. Chelsea turns on Naomi for keeping things hidden again. It's ugly. It's honest. It's years of resentment boiling over at once. And through it all, Bill remains silent. By the end of the week, the Hamilton name is on the edge of public scandal. Whispers of falsified medical records begin to leak. Madison's role is under review by the hospital board. Naomi considers going public, but not out of revenge, out of necessity. If the condition is hereditary, and if Bill kept it hidden, then others could be at risk. Not just her, but Chelsea, her children, Donnie's son with Bill. The stakes are no longer personal, they're generational. But as Naomi begins gathering evidence and preparing for a potential legal battle, she receives an anonymous message. Don't do this. You don't know everything. If you push too hard, more than your family will fall. The implication is clear. Bill wasn't the only one hiding something. And Naomi isn't sure who to trust anymore. But one thing is certain, Fairmont Crest will never be the same. Because the truth is out. And the Hamilton legacy isn't just stained. It's toxic. Beyond the gates, truth, threats, and total collapse, Naomi Hamilton Hawthorne doesn't sleep for 3 days. Her inbox is flooded with half-buried documents from old labs, anonymous emails from blocked addresses, and one unsigned letter delivered to her office, warning her to protect the Hamilton name at all costs. The deeper she digs, the clearer one thing becomes: this wasn't just a personal cover-up. This was systemic, intentional. And if she exposes it, the fallout won't stop with her father. She calls a meeting, not with the press, not with lawyers, with her family. They gather in the Hamilton estate's cold, vaulted dining room. Naomi, Chelsea, Donnie, Haley. Vernon is there too, quiet in the corner, eyes heavy with concern. Bill is still recovering at the hospital, unaware, or perhaps fully aware, that his family is now unraveling in real time. Naomi lays it out. The genetic disorder is a mitochondrial dyssynchronic, fatal, and passed down through the maternal line. But here's the twist. Bill isn't just a victim. He's part of a program. Years ago, before he left medicine for politics and real estate, Bill was involved in a controversial private genetic study. Unlicensed, unregulated, off the books. A handful of patients. One goal: edit the genome of unborn children to eradicate inherited disease. He was trying to rewrite his family's fate before Naomi was even born. But something went wrong. A trial participant died. The study was buried. And Bill signed a confidentiality agreement to protect the investors. In return, they paid for his silence, and for years, the Hamilton fortune grew quietly on that dirty foundation. The medical falsifications weren't just about shielding Naomi. They were about protecting that secret. Because if the study comes to light, everything: Bill's reputation, the hospital's integrity, the financial empire, even Madison's career is finished. Naomi watches their faces shift as she speaks. Donnie's goes pale. Chelsea looks physically ill. Haley says nothing, but her jaw locks into stone. This isn't just about us anymore, Naomi says. If we stay quiet, we're complicit. Chelsea is the first to speak. How do you even know this is real? Naomi pulls out a thumb drive and sets it on the table. Because it's all here. Patient records, emails, contracts, test subjects' names. One of them was my mother. A beat of silence. She was pregnant with me when she enrolled. That's when the air leaves the room. Vernon, who hasn't spoken all night, finally does. I knew there were secrets, he says quietly. But I never knew this. Donnie stands. Her voice is low but firm. What are you going to do? Naomi doesn't hesitate. I'm going to expose it. Chelsea explodes. Are you insane? Do you know what that would do to him? To us. To you, Naomi's face hardens. This isn't about what it does to us. It's about the people he lied to. The people he risked. The ones who died. You think I want this? I wish none of this was true. But it is. Haley finally speaks, ice in her voice. And what about me? I'm carrying his child. You want to drag my unborn baby through scandal and lawsuits before they even have a name. Naomi turns to her, her expression colder now. You knew something. Maybe not everything, but enough. And you stayed quiet. Haley doesn't deny it. The meeting ends without resolution. Everyone storms out in a different direction. Donnie drives to the hospital and doesn't come back that night. Chelsea disappears for hours and is seen later at Montrose Bar, glassy-eyed and alone. Vernon stays at the estate, staring out the window at the empty driveway. Naomi locks the door to her home and begins uploading files to an encrypted drive, preparing for war. The next morning, Naomi receives another message. This one includes photos of her at the clinic, at the courthouse, even at her home. Someone is watching her closely. The message is clear. If you speak, you'll lose more than your name. But Naomi is done being scared. She meets with a reporter from the Chronicle under the cover of night. She doesn't hand over the document cited. She gives enough to start the fire. A name, a year, a promise. There's more coming. At the hospital, Bill senses the shift. Donnie visits him, but this time she's different. She tells him Naomi knows everything, that the family is crumbling. Bill closes his eyes, and for a moment, his voice is nothing more than a whisper. I was trying to save you. Donnie responds, cold and flat. No, you were trying to save yourself. She leaves without looking back. Meanwhile, Haley contacts her lawyer. She wants to ensure her name and her children are protected from whatever fallout is about to hit. Chelsea calls Madison, begging her to deny everything if questioned. Madison refuses. She's already prepared to confess to the board. She's done lying. And then the explosion hits. The Chronicle runs a teaser article the next morning, Secrets Behind the Gates, a legacy of lies in Fairmont's first family. No names. Yet. But it's enough to send shockwaves through the town. The hospital board meets in emergency session. Madison is placed on leave. Vernon's phone rings all day with reporters and former donors demanding answers. Naomi stands at the edge of a cliff figuratively and literally. She drives out to the coast that night, stands by the guardrail, and stares into the dark water. She knows what happens next will destroy her father's legacy, but it might save her own. The next chapter of Beyond the Gates won't be about secrets anymore. It'll be about consequences and who survives them.